the silent language of attraction. In the subtle dance of human interaction, much of what we communicate transcends words. Body language plays an essential role in conveying unspoken messages, especially when it comes to attraction. For centuries, philosophers and scientists alike have studied these nonverbal cues, and while the principles of Stoicism focus on the mastery of the self, understanding how others express themselves silently can also enhance our interpersonal awareness. When a woman shows signs of interest, her body naturally adopts open and inviting postures. This is not simply a coincidence of comfort, but a deeper, instinctual signal of attraction. Her shoulders relax, no longer tight or guarded. This relaxed posture reflects an openness to the environment and to the person she's engaging with. The chest opens slightly, which is another sign of comfort and trust, a nonverbal way of saying, "I feel safe in this space." Another powerful indicator of attraction lies in the alignment of the body. When a woman angles her body towards someone, it indicates attention and growing interest. The direction of one's body can tell more than words sometimes. Instead of focusing solely on verbal conversation, understanding these cues offers deeper insights into the emotional undercurrents of an interaction. In Stoicism, the importance of perceiving the world accurately is emphasized, not to be swayed by emotions or misinterpretations. Similarly, by learning to read body language, we can interpret attraction or interest without jumping to conclusions, staying calm and grounded in our observations. To the Stoics' Guide to Observing Without Reaction. One of the most fundamental practices in Stoicism is the cultivation of observational awareness. This skill allows us to navigate the world with a calm, collected mind, especially when it comes to interacting with others. By honing the ability to observe without reacting, we strengthen our capacity for rational decision-making and enhance our relationships without being carried away by impulsive judgments or emotions. Consider, for example, the way we typically respond to body language. Often we react instinctively to the nonverbal cues we perceive in others, whether it's a frown, crossed arms, or a shift in posture. These automatic responses are deeply ingrained, often leading us to misunderstand or escalate situations unnecessarily. The Stoic approach, however, invites us to take a step back and observe these cues with detachment, viewing them as neither inherently good nor bad, but simply as they are. This is where the practice of composure becomes essential. As Stoics, we aim to cultivate an inner stillness, allowing us to perceive the world with clarity. This doesn't mean that we ignore or suppress our emotions. Rather, it means we acknowledge them without allowing them to dictate our actions. When we encounter a tense moment, for instance, we observe our reactions, perhaps a quickening of the heart, a tensing of muscles, and choose not to act on them immediately. By doing so, we free ourselves from the chains of impulsivity and create space for measured, thoughtful responses. In relationships, this skill can be transformative. Instead of forcing connections or reacting prematurely to another's signals, we can allow relationships to evolve naturally. A calm, observant presence encourages trust and openness. People sense when they are being truly listened to, when their cues are noted without judgment. This creates a foundation for more authentic interactions, rooted in respect and mutual understanding. The Stoic approach to observational awareness also extends beyond interpersonal relationships. It applies to how we engage with the world at large, from the media we consume to the environments we inhabit. In any situation, the Stoic stands as an observer, aware of the unfolding events but not swayed by them. This detachment, however, is not indifference. It is an active stance of presence and mindfulness, allowing us to engage with the world thoughtfully and purposefully, without becoming overwhelmed by its noise. In practice, this observational awareness can be developed through daily exercises. One simple yet powerful technique is to take a moment each day to observe the world around you, the way people move, their gestures, their expressions, without labeling or reacting to them. Let these observations pass like clouds drifting across the sky, noting them without attachment. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to remain calm and centered, even in the face of provocation or challenge. At the heart of this Stoic discipline lies a profound truth: we cannot control others or the external world, but we can control how we respond to it. By training ourselves to observe without immediate reaction, we create a buffer between stimulus and response. In this space, we reclaim our autonomy, choosing how we wish to act rather than being driven by the whims of our emotions or the behavior of others. This is not an easy practice, and it requires patience and persistence. But as the Stoics remind us, virtue is cultivated through effort, not ease. Every time we choose to observe rather than react, we strengthen our character. We move closer to the ideal of the sage, the one who, in all things, remains composed, rational, and free from the turbulence of emotional reactivity. In the end, observational awareness is not just about improving our interactions with others, it is a path to self-mastery. It enables us to live more deliberately, aligning our actions with our highest values and principles. Through this practice, we move away from the chaos of impulsive living and toward the peace of a Stoic existence, where we are no longer at the mercy of external circumstances, but grounded firmly in our own rational nature. By cultivating this awareness, we build stronger, more genuine relationships, not through manipulation or force, but through the quiet strength of our presence. We engage the world with clarity and purpose, allowing life to unfold without unnecessary interference. In doing so, we not only better our own lives, but also contribute to a more harmonious existence for those around us. Through Stoic observation, we learn to live in alignment with nature, embracing the ebb and flow of life with grace and composure. 3. The unspoken signals of human connection. One of the often overlooked aspects of human interaction lies in the subtle cues that indicate attraction. These nonverbal signals, though quiet, communicate volumes about how one feels in another's presence. Recognizing these cues can provide profound insights into the nature of our relationships, especially when navigating the boundary between friendship and something deeper. Among these telltale signs, body language plays a pivotal role. Consider, for instance, the direction in which a person's knees or feet are pointed. If their posture is oriented toward you, it's more than a mere coincidence. Such positioning is often an unconscious indicator of interest, reflecting a desire to engage and connect with you on a more personal level. This isn't about mere politeness, it's a genuine signal of focus and attraction that transcends the superficial. Similarly, eye contact is a potent communicator of intention. Frequent, sustained eye contact speaks volumes, conveying more than words ever could. It's a window into one's emotional state, and when someone maintains consistent eye contact, it often signals a desire for deeper connection. It shows engagement, interest, and a willingness to be seen literally and figuratively by the other person. However, the key to understanding these cues is not over-analysis. Stoicism teaches us the importance of clear perception without the clutter of overthinking. Instead of getting lost in doubt or second-guessing these signs, trust in the evidence presented before you. The philosophy of Stoicism encourages us to observe reality as it is, not through the filter of assumptions or personal insecurities. When someone directs their body and gaze towards you, it's a natural expression of human connection. Acknowledge it, but don't let your mind spiral into speculation. In the practice of Stoicism, we often focus on what is within our control. Understanding these signals falls within that sphere, but it's crucial to remember that the other person's motivations or desires are beyond our control. We can only interpret what is presented without attaching ourselves to any particular outcome. By applying Stoic principles to our interactions, we can remain grounded, appreciating the subtleties of human connection without becoming overly fixated on what these cues may or may not mean. In essence, the cues of attraction, like body orientation and eye contact, are straightforward. They serve as quiet reminders of our natural instincts for connection and engagement. Our role as both observers and participants in relationships is to remain attuned to these signs, allowing them to guide us without overwhelming our sense of reason or self-control. By recognizing and understanding these signals with a Stoic mind, we can navigate the complexities of human relationships with greater clarity and peace. 4. The art of engaging conversation curiosity as a path to connection. When someone displays curiosity in conversation, particularly through thoughtful and engaging questions, it reveals a deeper desire to understand the other person. In the context of relationships, this inquisitiveness is more than just small talk. It's an exploration of values, intentions, and personal alignment. It signifies a genuine interest in assessing whether there's potential for a meaningful connection. In Stoic philosophy, one of the core ideas is that we should approach each interaction with mindfulness and intentionality. Just as we aim to live virtuously, we should communicate with purpose. A woman who asks thoughtful questions in a conversation is practicing this very principle. She's not merely collecting superficial details, but rather she's trying to understand who you are at your core. This process of inquiry is an important step in determining compatibility for a future together. For the Stoic, curiosity in conversation is not driven by self-interest but by a desire for truth and understanding. It is a way of gathering information, not for manipulation or control, but to build a relationship based on mutual respect and shared values. Asking questions shows that she's willing to invest time and effort into understanding your perspectives, experiences, and emotions, which is essential in building a connection that goes beyond surface-level attraction. In practical terms, engaging in meaningful conversations also aligns with Stoic teachings about emotional resilience and self-awareness. By being open to answering questions thoughtfully, we exercise our capacity to reflect on our own values and behaviors. We learn to listen actively and consider the perspectives of others, which in turn strengthens our own sense of self and virtue. A relationship built on such principles of openness and curiosity has the potential to withstand challenges because it is rooted in a clear understanding of one another. Moreover, this practice of inquiry encourages both individuals to grow and evolve. By continually seeking to understand each other better, the conversation remains dynamic, offering new insights into each person's character. This type of dialogue fosters intellectual and emotional intimacy, as it invites each person to share their inner thoughts, desires, and fears without judgment. In this way, curiosity is not just a tool for compatibility, it's a way to deepen the bond between two people. In Stoicism, we learn that true contentment comes not from external validation, but from knowing ourselves and living in alignment with our values. When someone asks thoughtful questions, they invite us to examine ourselves more closely, providing an opportunity for self-reflection. And this can be a powerful moment of clarity, helping both individuals to assess not only the potential for a future together, but also their own growth as individuals. Curiosity in conversation, therefore, is a Stoic virtue in action. It is a demonstration of the Stoic principle of sympathia, the idea that we are all interconnected and that our actions should be aimed at fostering this connection. By asking questions and seeking to understand another person deeply, We are engaging in an act of care and respect, which are fundamental to any meaningful relationship. This kind of communication nurtures mutual understanding and encourages both partners to be authentic and true to themselves. In conclusion, when a woman or anyone asks thoughtful, curious questions, it reflects a genuine desire to connect on a deeper level. It is an exploration of compatibility, but more importantly, it is an invitation to engage in a Stoic practice of mindful communication. Through these conversations, we can develop a relationship based on respect, mutual understanding, and a shared commitment to living in accordance with our values. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom applied to modern relationships, the pursuit of meaningful connection through thoughtful dialogue and curiosity. 5 Stoic foundations for authentic connections. In the fast-paced and often superficial world we live in, the value of forming meaningful connections is frequently overlooked. However, high-value individuals, particularly those who adopt Stoic principles, understand the significance of these connections. They view every interaction as an opportunity to reveal their true selves and live in accordance with their deeply held values. This process goes beyond surface-level communication, entering into a realm of authenticity and integrity. At the core of this philosophy lies the Stoic emphasis on inner character. High-value men, in particular, recognize that moments of genuine inquiry, whether during a conversation or through introspective reflection, offer them a chance to demonstrate their commitment to virtue. For the Stoic, life is not about impressing others with wealth, status, or fleeting accomplishments. Instead, it is about fostering relationships built on mutual respect, honesty, and understanding. These men approach conversations with a mindset that prioritizes depth over triviality. They are not interested in small talk that serves only to fill silence or maintain social conventions. Rather, they see such moments as opportunities to engage in discussions that reflect their true nature. This mindset aligns perfectly with Stoic teachings on focusing on what truly matters in life, pursuing virtue, cultivating wisdom, and building strong bonds with others. In practice, this means that high-value men ask questions that matter. They inquire about the character, values, and aspirations of others, not out of curiosity alone, but to foster a deeper connection. They seek to understand the motivations and principles that guide others, as this understanding forms the foundation for authentic relationships. Such inquiries reflect the Stoics' quest for truth and meaningful engagement, rather than distractions or frivolous conversation. But this process is not one-sided. By revealing their own values and character through these interactions, they invite others to do the same. This reciprocal exchange encourages a dynamic of mutual respect and understanding, where both parties are motivated by more than just societal expectations or external validation. The Stoic approach to connection is fundamentally about seeking truth and aligning with virtue, not about impressing others or securing approval. These authentic interactions embody the Stoic principle of living in accordance with nature, which, in this context, refers to human nature as rational, social beings. The Stoic recognizes that relationships, whether professional, romantic, or platonic, should be rooted in honesty, respect, and a shared commitment to growth. Through meaningful dialogue, individuals can challenge each other to be better, reinforcing their commitment to Stoic ideals such as courage, justice, and temperance. Furthermore, the Stoic understanding of emotional resilience plays a key role in this dynamic. High-value men are not swayed by flattery or criticism, and their interactions are guided by a steady commitment to virtue. This emotional grounding allows them to engage in relationships from a place of strength, not dependency. They are capable of forming bonds that are free from manipulation or ego-driven needs, which is critical for cultivating genuine connections. This approach also requires a level of vulnerability, an often overlooked yet essential aspect of Stoic philosophy. While the Stoic is resilient in the face of hardship, they are also open to the truths that emerge from deep, honest connections. Vulnerability in this sense is not weakness, but rather the strength to be authentic, to share one's true self without fear of judgment. In these moments, high-value men demonstrate a commitment to truth, both in themselves and in their relationships. Through these actions, they exemplify the Stoic belief that true value comes from within. External achievements, social standing, and material wealth are not the measures of success. Instead, it is the quality of one's character and the depth of one's connections that reflect a life well lived. High-value men live by this creed, continually striving to improve themselves and those around them through meaningful engagement. 6. Reflecting connection, understanding emotional mirroring. One of the fascinating aspects of human interaction is the unconscious act of mirroring, where one individual subtly imitates the gestures or language of another. This behavior, though often unnoticed, reveals a deeper alignment in their emotional states. When someone mirrors your actions, whether through mimicking your hand movements or echoing phrases, it is not a mere coincidence, but a signal of a subconscious connection forming. It reflects a level of trust and emotional resonance. In Stoic terms, such mirroring can be understood as an external expression of shared perception, where two minds begin to harmonize, consciously or unconsciously, with one another. This alignment, though instinctual, hints at the philosophical idea that humans are inherently social beings, naturally drawn to connections that feel authentic. While mirroring is not necessarily a conscious action, its presence signifies that there is an underlying rapport, one that bridges the divide between separate individuals, even if only momentarily. However, in the Stoic framework, it's important to approach this phenomenon with mindful detachment. Emotional mirroring can strengthen social bonds, but it is not a reliable measure of one's character or intentions. The wise person remains aware of these subtle interactions, yet recognizes that true connection must be guided by reason and virtue, not merely emotional reflex. Stoicism teaches us to observe these moments of mirroring with curiosity, acknowledging their presence without becoming overly attached to them. True Stoic connection is formed not only through alignment of gestures, but through the shared pursuit of wisdom and virtue. 7. The subtle language of connection. Human interaction is often layered with nuance, especially in the realm of attraction. One of the most understated yet profound signals is prolonged eye contact. In Stoic terms, such behavior reflects a deeper intention. When someone fixes their gaze upon you, it is not just an automatic reaction, but a deliberate act of attention and focus. Prolonged eye contact can serve as a non-verbal cue, suggesting that the individual is both captivated by your presence and curious about your character. In the modern context, these subtle expressions of attraction are often misinterpreted or overlooked entirely. Yet, as ancient philosophers like Epictetus taught, the value lies in our ability to perceive intent beneath the surface. Prolonged gazes do not merely express attraction, they reveal an openness, a willingness to engage in something beyond the superficial. They invite introspection, calling us to reflect not only on how we are perceived, but how we perceive others in return. This quiet exchange of attention, though subtle, hints at a desire for a deeper connection. It transcends mere physical attraction, representing an unspoken curiosity, an interest in exploring the mind and emotions of another. This silent conversation of the eyes can be a powerful force, but it is crucial not to overinterpret or attach too much meaning. Instead, a Stoic approach teaches us to view these interactions with clarity, free from the weight of assumptions. True attraction, after all, is rooted in understanding, not just appearance. By training ourselves to see and appreciate these signs, we allow a richer, more mindful engagement with others, one that elevates human interaction to a philosophical practice of observation and reflection. 8. Stoicism in relationships, the art of mindful connection. Embracing the principles of Stoicism in our relationships can significantly transform the way we interact with others. By cultivating patience, practicing keen observation, and remaining fully present, we can navigate the complexities of human connection without succumbing to emotional turbulence. This mindful approach enables us to decipher subtle cues and signals, leading to more profound and healthier interactions. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to maintain our composure amid life's inevitable challenges. When applied to relationships, this means resisting the urge to react impulsively to emotional triggers. Instead of allowing frustration or anger to dictate our responses, we learn to pause and reflect. This practice of self-regulation fosters a sense of calm, creating a space where thoughtful communication can flourish. The importance of observation in relationships cannot be overstated. By honing our ability to observe without judgment, we become more attuned to the nuances of others' behavior. This heightened awareness allows us to recognize when a loved one is feeling down or when a friend might be in need of support. Rather than jumping to conclusions or making assumptions, we can approach these moments with empathy and understanding. Being present is another fundamental aspect of Stoicism that enriches our interactions. In a world filled with distractions, it is all too easy to become disengaged, even when physically present. By practicing mindfulness, we cultivate the ability to truly listen and engage with others. This means putting away our phones, shutting down our mental chatter, and focusing entirely on the conversation at hand. Such presence not only strengthens bonds but also encourages authenticity in our relationships. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us to manage our expectations. Many relationship issues stem from unrealistic expectations of ourselves and others. By adopting a Stoic mindset, we learn to appreciate people for who they are rather than who we want them to be. This shift in perspective can alleviate disappointment and foster acceptance. It encourages us to focus on the qualities we value in our relationships rather than fixating on perceived flaws. Additionally, practicing gratitude is a powerful tool rooted in Stoicism that enhances our relational dynamics. Regularly reflecting on the positive aspects of our relationships can shift our focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. By expressing gratitude to those we care about, we cultivate an atmosphere of appreciation that strengthens connections. This acknowledgement fosters a reciprocal exchange, as others are likely to feel valued and appreciated in return. Conflict is an unavoidable part of any relationship. However, Stoicism offers us valuable insights on how to navigate these challenging moments. Instead of approaching conflict with aggression or defensiveness, we can adopt a more stoic stance. This means viewing disagreements as opportunities for growth rather than threats to our well-being. By maintaining a rational mindset, we can engage in constructive dialogue, seeking understanding rather than merely defending our positions. It's also essential to recognize the impermanence of relationships, a key teaching of Stoicism. Understanding that all connections have a beginning, middle, and end encourages us to cherish each moment while it lasts. This awareness can help alleviate the fear of loss, allowing us to fully engage in the present without being weighed down by anxiety about the future. We learn to appreciate the beauty of fleeting moments, cultivating a deeper sense of connection with those we love. Lastly, we should not forget the role of self-reflection in applying Stoic principles to our relationships. Taking the time to reflect on our behaviors, motivations, and interactions can lead to profound personal growth. Journaling or engaging in philosophical discussions can help clarify our values and intentions, enabling us to approach our relationships with greater integrity and purpose. In conclusion, integrating Stoic principles into our relationships can lead to more meaningful and fulfilling connections. By cultivating patience, enhancing our observational skills, and remaining fully present, we navigate the complexities of human interaction with grace and understanding. This mindful approach not only enriches our relationships, but also fosters a deeper sense of inner peace, enabling us to connect with others in a way that is both authentic and resilient. In the end, Stoicism reminds us that while we cannot control others, we can always choose how we respond, shaping our relational landscape with intention and care.